Hello, hello, welcome back to stream here, on time for once. Back at it in the testing world, I guess this is now, playing with the Raft mod, Riverborn Raft Logistics, and last stream we somewhat successfully, this is still paused, right? Somewhat successfully did a little bit of a roller coaster lift hill with the rafts here, and figured out that we can technically get it to land on here without going into a pool of water and do a change of direction, but it's not reliable, and therefore I'm not going to commit to, utilizing this as an actual mechanic. So, what's going to have to happen now is we're going to need to do some finagling and figure out exactly what the best way to do a change of direction after launching would be. I think it's going to be to put it in a pool of water and then create some sort of a current, which, depending on how we end up doing this, I may be able to do without making it an incredibly annoying process. We will see. So, for however long I have to stream tonight, which isn't going to be tremendously long because I do have to record a video for tomorrow, we're gonna mess with this. We're gonna see what happens. So I think what's gonna make the most sense is demolish all of this and build a pool. And then I want to set up a mechanism with the deep mechanical fluid pump to create a current that will enable it to go into a raft ramp to send it off somewhere else. Hello everyone in chat who has said hello. Hope you're having a good Sunday evening or very early Monday. But let's go ahead and just, clear all this mess out. And since we know it's going to land roughly in this area, I think what will make the most sense is to make this, let's go for a 5x5. Oh, hey, here's a surprise raft that we can get rid of, and there's also one, and there is another one. Man, we have these things absolutely everywhere, huh? Well, at any rate, I'm going to get rid of that. And then I suppose, yeah, if that's 4, then this can easily be something more. So what's going to happen with all of this space is after I make my 5x5, I'm going to have, I think, yeah, see, if this is going to land in here, I'm going to have to set this, maybe a 5x5 isn't necessary. Maybe a 4x4 would be okay. I think, because we know it hit the wall that we had maybe right about here. So if we want it to actually land in water, then it probably should be a little bit further. Tell you what we'll do. I will make this right here, the boundary there. We'll make it 4x, which will mean that this, yeah, we'll fill this in. I guess that'll be faster that way. And then I do want to inset, I think, maybe 1, maybe 2. 2 would probably be easier in all honesty, which means this is going to be taken out here. And I hope I can explain what I want to do without this becoming just a tremendously annoying thing. Get this around the outside. What I'm essentially attempting to do is create flow by having this dump somewhere else. And I don't think I have to actually build anything else here. I'm just going to kind of place stuff, and we're just going to let it be what it has to be. And then I will, I'll get to what I have to get to when I have to get to it. And I will, I'll do my best to try and interact with you guys so we can keep tabs on what's actually happening here, but I'm going to have to, at some point, prioritize actually getting stuff done instead of reading chat, but I will do my best. Let's just do this. Streaming at a Japan-friendly time? I mean, hey, if it's, 8 in the morning, then sure. Low drinking water. Oh, you are absolutely correct. Let's, now that this is no longer really that much of a concern, let's turn these back on. See, I need to get these operated by bots. I think that would be a big help. So let's just convert all of these to bot operation, and then they're going to have power, which is going to be easy enough to just put a charging station right there. Let's make that a priority. Do we have another spot to put charging stations that's not going to be completely stupid? The answer is probably no. I'm going to... Yeah, that's going to connect just fine. Let's put that there. Who's stranded? Who's stranded? Why does this always happen? Why does this always happen where some stupid idiot beaver gets stuck somewhere because they don't know how to do basic stuff? You're an idiot. Oh, it's a bot. No, you're supposed to be smart. You're supposed to be smart. You're a bot. That's the whole point. Alright, so... because we apparently don't know how to do anything here, we have to babysit the bots. The rafts bounced off of land 3 units above the engines. Well, that's where they stopped because there was a thing. They got to right about here. But I guess if we're going to, you know, actually think about this, we might as well start by sending one of these and see where it goes. Because I thought I had it in the right spot. Alright, now, don't make me a fool. Good. That actually worked. Alright, K for kaboom. Get that bot out of there. And go be stupid somewhere else. Okay, no, I'm not going to let them get blown up. This is to create current. This is going to have a power shaft in here because this is probably going to be the easiest way to do this because water can, you know, do what it needs to do. The 4x4, let's take that. As long as it can get in here, then it's going to be fine because we're going to have, hopefully, substantial enough current draw. I'm going to put a diagonal guide here to get that to go. Actually, it's going to have to be... it's going to have to be here because that's where that's going to start. I'm pretty sure this is going to be fine. You get kicked up when it's done. It's never going to finish it because he's occupying the block. It always does that. I hate the arrow direction thing so much. I cannot express to you how much I despise it. No matter how people try to explain it, I've never been able to get it to work right. Alright, I need to get this thing out of here. Do I have space? I do. So essentially what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create water flow coming this way through here underneath the ramp. And then the reason there's a power shaft is because this has to connect here once this is blown up to the ramp itself. And then it's also going to go to a deep mechanical fluid pump, which I should go ahead and unlock. But that is going to have to draw out of, depending on how this goes, here and then come up to a thing above this. So this method of accessing up here is really not ideal, and I should not have done it this way. It'll be fine. What could go wrong? In this kind of scenario, I think the proper phrase to use is what could possibly go right. Let that be our guiding thing here. Okay, they can't reach much of the rest of this. Let's give them a hand. Okay, water is slowly going up, so that's good. Still have a charger there, that's fine. Stuff just takes a really long time to build, and I may have picked a somewhat terrible way to do this, but this is all about experimentation. Remember, we're not trying to build necessarily a functional thing here. This is more testing theory and figuring out consequences without having to ruin a video series. Too bad you can't use the power network below for water for the pump. Well, I mean, I'm gonna connect this, so I don't think it's gonna be a problem. We will see. We will see. It does, in fact, just take time, which is something I do not have, unfortunately. If they manage to get stuck here, I'm gonna be just beside myself with grief. Which means that's absolutely what they're going to do. I think now that I have a path here, they're not going to get exploded, so I'm going to go ahead and get that popped in. But that going there is going to mean I can get a power shaft in there, and then this is going to come around and be connected. So the back side of this is going to be dirt, and then this, of course, is going to also be dirt. But what I'm trying to do is dump water into... Actually, maybe right about here. We'll call that the dump zone. I'm gonna have to move this instead of coming up this side. We're gonna have to come up the back here. I think it's just gonna be easier. Yeah, I can't keep moving these things around here, and that's gonna be the easiest way to get rid of this is to just do that. Nobody else gets stuck. There we go. Problem solved. So the water's going to come through here, and then it's going to have to drop down into a little catchment basin. But I also have to have this connect to the side of this pump, and I can't get this. There we go. So I'm going to have to, I think, depending on how I want this to go, I'm going to have this go in this exact spot and not actually cause any problems. It's really going to have to go, say, here. Where that is going to be. If I do that, and I pop this, say, right here, that's going to draw water down from here, pump it up. I don't even know if it's going to be able to pump enough for this to be enough flow to make this worthwhile, but that's why we're testing it. This is the only way that we can really do this without me taking another 6 months to make a video like I did with the Project 1K stuff, which I still have not finished. Please never let me do a project like that ever again, because it will never be done. But this is exactly why I'm doing this as a live stream, so we can figure this out as we go along. Now, this just has to come into here. If we have to modify it so there's more movement, then we will. Or I guess I will. No, get out of there. I just need this to flow in. I think this should be somewhat simple to get set up. And then I just have to have the power shaft while it is still here. They should be able to do that, because water doesn't care about this. Water does not care. So double, then vertical, and then one of these numbers. They should be able to build this without too much weeping or gnashing of teeth. I just need them to actually be able to do it, which means I have to put in a platform right there. Project 10K on a large map. As a video series, that would take me more years than I probably have on this Earth. So I will not be doing that. Also, I don't think my computer could run it, and I think NASA's a little busy at the moment. In the case of land that builders are building from bottom, you want to build the furthest first, so the arrow should point from the furthest. Like, I really do, but I promise you, nothing that anyone does to try to make me understand the arrows is going to make any difference. We've tried it all. Do you want to integrate a valve for one-way water movement? Well, that's kind of the idea, to have one-way water movement with this. Which is why this drops it down. I think if I build up enough water here where this isn't going to be a problem. See, I just don't know. One-way water movement, it shouldn't be possible for it to go the wrong way, because it's always going to want to go path of least resistance, which is down here to get picked up to get brought back there. So theoretically, the worst that I could do here would be to just make this the same height, so the water's always going down, even if it's going to collect somewhere in here. I don't know. I feel like I kind of got a little bit in over my skis with this, to borrow a term. But, I think it's going to be fine. They just need to, you know, build it. We're going to see. Could you add a water wheel and check if the game allows perpetual motion machines? So the game does technically allow perpetual motion machines because people have built them. I'm not attempting to build a perpetual motion machine. I know there's going to be energy loss here. But the point of this is not to generate power, it's to generate some sort of flow through this thing so it can launch it in a different direction. This is just to prove a concept and help me figure this out before I try to do it in a video. I've got a list of stuff that I want to do in future playthrough videos thing. I've been thinking about trying to do different weather mods, actually. But I can't really make any promises about what I'm going to include, because as soon as I say, yeah, we're definitely going to do this, then I end up not being able to do it, and then I don't want to disappoint people. But I did hear about that. That sounds like a good idea. The problem with putting a dam in is I also have to have power. So if I did that, I'd have to bring this up. I do think that's a smart idea, though. So here's what I will do. Is this underneath has a problem currently. This is a platform that should actually be a piece of terrain. And then that means this is going to have to change into a vertical power shaft. Then they can actually walk on top of that, but they don't need to. I just need to make sure. How about instead of a dam, I put a floodgate, because that's... wait a minute. No, it should be a floodgate, because I'm trying to maintain a minimum depth here. The goal is to generate views. I mean, not really. I'm doing this because I like it. And if people want to watch it, then great. And if they don't, then all right. But I'm still going to do it. But the unfortunate reality of YouTube as a business does mean that, you know, people do have to watch the videos for this to be something I can continue to spend this much time doing. So whenever that stops being viable, then, you know, that's when maybe it changes to, I just have fun doing this, and if I make any money doing it, then I do. But if I'm not making enough money doing YouTube, then I am going to have to go, you know, do other stuff with my life so I can afford to pay bills and eat food. But currently, you know, things are working out pretty okay. I want this, I think I can leave this at about 0.5. We are going to have to keep this topped up with the help of a water dump, which conveniently, fluid dump, can go right here because the raft is not going to get into it. Please note that in the video playthrough that I'm currently working on, I don't think I'm going to be doing something specifically like this everywhere. But there's a very good chance I will have to do something like this in that ramp leading up to the aqueduct, if you've seen that video. And this is already completely blocked in. Yeah, that's fine. So if this is just on all the time... Oh, I don't want to have to automate this. I really don't want to have to automate this. That just goes so poorly every time I try. Because I'm going to have this set in a spot where it's not going to be in the way, which is kind of a problem. Because it's going... Okay, I think here is probably okay. I don't even know how I'd have to be able to do this. I think it would just prove to be an insufferable pain in the butt. So this is a testing world. This isn't really a colony so much as it is just kind of, hey, let's mess around with stuff and see what we can do. The main goal in the video series is to, well, kind of the same deal, except not mess around, more goal-oriented. I gotta get this connected to power, first of all. So this is coming through here. This is going to get this full enough to keep this at about 0.5, and I guess it's going to keep going down. And then the idea, this is only here to provide current. This isn't here to fill this. That's what this is for. Theoretically. I've got to get power in here, and that is going to be annoying, but probably the easiest way to do this is just that. I think they can build all of this at once. I've got this coming around this side, once again. Not an elegant solution. It's also not supposed to be. It's just supposed to exist. I've got 21 bots who currently cannot do anything. I have 23 beavers who currently cannot do anything because they don't have enough bodies. Alright, so let's just make all of the builders into bots. Free up some of those. And then I guess I'll do haulers as well. There we go. That will help solve most of these problems. Now, as soon as this gets connected here, then we'll get a tiny bit of current. Now, I just need a little bit of current to get it to go onto this. Prefer direct, not alternating current? Yes. You're absolutely correct. Okay, we're not short on logs, we're just short on labor. I just need this one thing to be done. I will have to shut this off at some point. But if this is going to be... I want this to turn on when the thing is below... I'm going to try 0.45, and then I'm going to automate this to that. Right now it's at 3.4. I think that's what I need to do. Alright, so this is running, but there's no flow because this hasn't gotten high enough here to go down. So, this is at 0.33. It's going to take a long time. So, why don't I, for now, just let this water out so we can have this actually, you know, going somewhere. Get this backfilled just a tiny bit. Let's go up to 0.5. Now, the problem with seeing current visualization is it's not going to be that easy until a raft is in here. And this isn't going to actually... Yeah, we need so much more water in this. It is not going to be... Not really going to be that easy of a thing. Is it enough of a business you can write off capital investments? Well, the only capital investments I really have for doing YouTube, the way that I do it, is the computer that I built in 2025, which I did put on my taxes and did not help that much. So, now if I had a channel where I was just, you know, like buying garbage on the internet and just doing quote unquote reviews of it so I can write the thing off, then yeah, I guess. But what's the point of that? Why is this idea giving me roller coaster tycoon vibes of launching a roller coaster car off the track and then it blowing up on the ground? I mean, that's basically what this is. So, let's see. Enjoy videos as background for paperwork. That's exactly why I do these the way that I do. So people can just kind of enjoy background noise if that's what they're doing. Sensor needs to be more than the floodgate, otherwise the lower trough will never fill. You are correct. Okay, I mean, I guess that makes sense because I don't want this to be dumping until this completely fills up, because there will come a point in time where there will be too much water in here and it won't work. If that's the case, but if that's set to 0.55, then I guess it's fine. I just need enough water so this will float into here, and I need there to be enough flow so that it will not just have to sit there doing nothing. Well, the problem with putting another fluid dump in is I don't know if I can put one in there without it blocking anything. Unless I were to put it here. So right now it's starting to go over. And this is... maybe not quite enough. Because at some point there's going to be enough in here for this to just run continuously, which is what I'm attempting to get it to do. Maybe this can't move enough? Because it doesn't say what the flow rate is that you can achieve with this. Can a raft get launched off the map? I mean, it'll just disappear. We established that last stream if you were here. You dump the water directly into the trough behind the water pump. You know what? That is such a better idea. That really is a better idea. But now I kind of can't get in there unless I completely redo all of this. Well, if nothing else, I'm learning a lot about what not to do if I'm attempting to do this in a serious fashion. 0.5 CFM. Is that what this will do powered full time? Now I guess we're just waiting to have this connected here. Gotta wait for the ladders. Well, yeah, of course I forgot about ladders. I haven't been playing with them for like 2 months. 3 months. And I'm not doing ladders in the other playthrough because I haven't, but in here for testing I have those turned on. Come on, ladders. Come on, get these things done. We've all got stuff to do, and I know they don't have any other building to accomplish. Forgot about water. How are we out of water again? Oh, because they're dumping all of it. Man, you know... Oh, these are paused because it's a drought. Alright. See, this is what happens when you do stuff like this. Okay, where's not Gary? You're paused. You're only active during temperate weather. Ugh, God, this is aggravating. Why did I try to do this on this playthrough where I had, like, nothing unlocked? I should have loaded a different one. Oh, well, too late for that. So, I guess I'm just going to have to unautomate a couple of these so the beavers don't die. Those pesky bio beavers and their need to, you know, not die of thirst. Alright, this also... Oh, that's not a bot. Okay. Well, that's going to solve that problem really fast. Just have these be bots all the time. Hopefully. Before anyone says anything, no, I do not have any water storage over here. That is what I'm going to have to change next. Except I did not build this in a way that's going to make that a very simple solution solve. Okay, I'll just put one of those there. Again, this is not supposed to look good. It's supposed to just work, theoretically. Right now, I just need there to be enough water in here where this works. I don't really care about anything else, and then we can back our way out of the nonsense once it's actually functional. Is this going to run out of water in the next... You know what? Alright. Just so people stop asking about it, we'll just end that. I think we've... Where am I? I think we've established at this point that we're not actually playing this as a playthrough. Except for the million log thing that I agreed to do for some reason. Alright. Come on, water. Just dump in here and be done with it. That says 0.55. So this will basically always be on, so I really don't even need this here. I just need this to be dumping. Just pump, pump, pump. I need more pumping. What I really need now is I need fewer bio-beavers. Alright. Let's just pause those two. Go down to 6 of them. Shrink the population a little bit. We already have too many beavers. Flow of the water from the first dump would actually stop the flow of the raft needing to go that direction, so I guess the only one needed is the second dump. I don't know that it's going to change anything, honestly. If anything, this is just going to add the amount of water that's being dumped through here going through this way, which the whole point of that is to get rafts to float over here. So as soon as there is actually enough water going in here where this is viable, just keep dumping, keep pumping, then we'll be okay. But I guess probably the issue here is these dumps can't keep up. And it would actually be better to have a another one of these mechanical pumps feeding into it, which is probably what's going to happen when I do this in the video series. also going to have to be. I just need this to do something. Anything would be nice. Let's restart this. Let's get one sent out so we can see how this is going to, you know, actually interact as it is now. Alright, so that's going to come in here. That's going to land. Just like that, it's going to come up, and then as flow permits, it's going to go this way, which currently it does not seem... does not seem like flow is going to permit that going in. Every 10 cubes of empty dirt, you need a pump. One of these? Because this is already 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So you're saying I have to have 3 of these to get this to work? That's not even worth it at all. Not even remotely. Oh, dump? Okay. Well, if that's the case, then 3 dumps should do it. Not counting this, which I'm not, because it's not this. But this is not doing any amount of flow whatsoever. Maybe that changes as this continues, but it seems like it's pumping faster than... Oh, it's actually kind of moving. Kind of. In theory, the pump should move stuff much faster than these can dump, and this doesn't require a beaver or a bot to work here. So it is actually moving, kind of. Where is that going to go? Right into the hillside. I should have seen that coming. Alright. So I really don't want this to turn into a thing where I'm just constantly running out of places to move things. So why don't we, for right now, just try to move this enough where this can go slightly further. Okay, this is now full enough where I think this is okay. And this probably can just be permanently paused. Yeah, because now this is this also, yeah, okay, this is actually getting too full now because this is going to just backflow over the floodgate. So as soon as these two get blasted, I'm going to try to launch another one. Another 2 launchers to the existing one, like this big tall one? Well, then I'd have to rebuild this entire thing, and that's not going to happen. At least not with this. Alright. I'm going to pause this right before it gets to the launch bit. I just need this to go. I'll slow it down. Alright, so that's going to fall in right there. Assuming there's some amount of flow, it will move toward the ramp. Which this is actually... This is full enough over here now where this could end up being a little bit of a problem. Yeah, see, now this is too full. Now it is too full. But I need the current, so that means I'm just going to pause all of these because, yeah, so what I will do is I will just automate all of these to this thing. So that way when this thing starts running out of water, then they'll all turn back on. Valves to avoid the backflow. Yeah, but it can't, ugh, this is so complicated. See, this is another one of those ideas where, you know, after I start working on it, I realize just how completely out of my depth I am, and I never should have started, but I can't give up now because I already told people I was going to do it. Can a raft collection be built on dry land where the rafts land? I don't think it works. Like, I think the building, like, physically does not work unless it has water. Based on the video playthrough. Let's see if this ever makes it over here. Come on. And... okay, so that was a complete waste of time. Okay. Let's just get rid of this. And then maybe try to do something else here. Creating a lazy river is hard. Yes, it is. Try to get this. I guess I just make all of these. freaking boom. Let's give this another shot here. Alright. See, this has no problem because it actually has a water source behind it. Okay, now that's going to come down here. Lands in there. If there's actual flow occurring, which there technically is, then it should be okay. Yep. Still just flowing. But it's going. No, the thing I'm trying to solve with this is not getting it further this way. That's not the primary goal. The thing is trying to smooth out the process of just this thing. Getting it onto any raft ramp that is going at a 90-degree angle direction change. Alright, so that just went right to the same spot. Because I do really want to know how far this will make it go. Which, theoretically, this is the same height as the exit there. I think our testing before was, what? We say it was like 13? Which would be right about here or possibly here. Can they reach this? They cannot. Let's give them a little bit of help with that. This will eventually evaporate enough for this to be a viable level of flow. Like, see, this looks like it's okay, except it just keeps, you know, butting up to that. So if I just had a throttling valve with no limit on it, that might actually be a better way to do it. One raft ramp was 11 blocks. Okay, yeah, you're right, it was 11. Which means it would stop right about here once that's removed. I want to, I mainly want to see that this general setup, once it has water in it, will work with a single pump enough to at least move it. Because if I have to have multiple pumps to create enough flow, that's going to start causing problems. At least for the idea that I had previously. I'm going to... I know. It's going to be okay. I'm going to move this to here and just have it unlimited so it can't actually do anything. Moving, but at an abysmal speed. Yep. It's like rush hour traffic. Or trying to drive a 4-cylinder car on the freeway. And also not be run over by somebody in a Dodge Ram or whatever the default idiot car is where you live. Alright. So, right there, about where I thought it was going to land the same time, so that's good. We're landing in the pool. But the issue remains actually getting over here. Yeah, there's not enough current flow. I know they haven't actually put in the throttling valve yet, and that will help. But if that can stabilize enough... See, that seems to be moving decently well. It's just not fast enough. Alright, come on. Show me something good here. I also could have oriented this so this didn't have to ride along the rail and it could have just gone straight, but that is something that can be learned for the future. Okay, so now it's just stopping there. That's great. Oh no. This has quickly become way more than I bargained for. I do want that to go. Then I guess this can also get done. Yeah, see, now this seems to be moving quite a bit faster. As long as we can get that to increase slightly, then I think this might actually be a viable operation here. Height of the water adjusted. That's possible. But in theory, it should all be calculated based off of the tip here, and not anything else. As far as I know. I'm gonna put 2 more there. And then I suppose I can let another one of these out. Hit pause again. Alright, they are just about finished. This is going to end up getting exploded at the exact wrong time. Okay, so that actually got right there pretty quick. I don't know if that was just luck of the draw, but... Okay, so the timing was not great on that. Let's do that again. It did drop one, right? No? I guess not. Alright. Now that I've actually gotten it to where it can sit somewhere. Alright. Oh, that almost would have been good if this was one further that way. Anyway, it's going to be a much more controlled environment in the actual playthrough because I'm not going to have to change directions, but I have to know if this is going to work. So it's floating. Now that this is not completely full, it's floating at a reasonable speed, what I would consider at least. Raft with no load will fly further than a raft with a load. Okay, so it stopped right here. So that's 9 spaces in between and stopped on the 10th. Okay, so that tracks. Stack the barriers. I actually can't get a beaver back in here, can I? I wonder if it's going to let me... I probably can't in that spot, but this would be enough right here. I don't think this is going to matter, in all honesty. Okay, so now it's evaporated enough where it started to run out of... juice. It's also worth noting that the implementation that I envisioned for this was not a continuous loop on one level. It would be water going up, and then more water going up, and then more water going up, and then the flow of the water getting sucked into the next level's pumps would be what gets this going in there. I think. I don't know. I've got a little bit more thinking to do about this, and that was part of the reason why I wanted this to be the thing that I also streamed tonight, so that before I go to record I have a little bit of a better idea of how this is going to work. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. Put a platform over that gear so it can... What gear? Oh, you're talking about this? All right, so that's done. Let's do this. All right, come on down. Come on down. All right, that's going to drop in there. Okay, that didn't really do anything. It's also... Is there anything down there? No. It's just floating awkwardly. Well, you know, it's a good thing we're testing this, because this would have absolutely tilted me if this happened while I was trying to record a video and it took me like 8 hours to do a 45-minute video. Yeah, so now it's finally moving again. I guess what I probably should be testing instead is the design I'm working on for what to do with that. Which I know I'm going to have to rip stuff out anyway based on comments on that video. And it's also not going to be changing direction, so maybe I should do that next. I want to see. Okay, so that's basically going the exact same spot. It might have hit that corner there. In the middle of the receiving area so it doesn't get stuck on an angle. Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying here. So I keep opening the wrong thing. I want it to be here. Yeah, I need that to be there, and they should be able to build that by standing on this. So let's do that. Let's do that, and then that actually would mean I don't have to have. Well, I do need that there, but I don't have to have this empty if it's just going to touch this thing. Let's put one more level on top of this. Ah, it's not going to let me because because I put that there. Well, I guess it's fine. Okay, let's launch this again. Oh, I managed to miss looking at it, but it did hit the wall. We do know that. So that has reduced the amount of time. Yeah, that reduced the amount of time it took to get this going here. I'm gonna do it again, except now it's dark, so it's not gonna be quite as good. I just want to see this happen in real time. All right, now where? There it goes. Okay. Yeah, that's marginally better. Fully loaded one. What am I going to send on it? I guess it doesn't really matter. I just have to have it be fully loaded. 66 kilograms. Oh, it's not going to be... Yeah, because I can't overload it. What can I send this 1 kilogram that's not going to be annoying? Oh, the funny thing to do is put water on it. Let's do that. Let's do that. Which I'm going to have to wait for them to get back into the office, so to speak, to actually get the materials, but I do want to see what happens if it's fully loaded. Oh, you know the weight's going to cause different effects. That's why it's got some sort of physics modeling on it. It's got like an entirely different mod attached to it called Bober's Laws of Motion, which I'm assuming Bober is the Polish word for beaver. Okay. Now they actually have the stuff there. Oh, it launched two. It launched two. Alright, well. Oh, it's tumbling end over end. Ooh, it went further. Of course it did, because that's how momentum works. But now, where's that other one? There it goes. Well, that one went okay. I don't know, man. It's randomized to the degree of not being particularly easy to predict. But this one's going to be interesting. Okay, so it landed... and then it pushed the other one. That's funny. Yeah, okay, that one landed a square further. So, oh man, you know what you could do? If you were really smart, you could code an extension to this mod that would be something akin to shuffleboard. You know, like, or curling maybe? Where you send a heavy thing to knock into another heavy thing with the goal of either being in a specific spot or removing something from a specific spot if it's not your thing. I don't know. If you've ever seen curling on TV during the Olympics, or if you're Canadian, then you probably know a lot more about it than anybody else. But that's the idea that I had when I saw this hit the other thing. I think that would be kind of a fun thing. I have no idea how useful that would be or how many people would care to see that. But that would be cool. Yeah, bocce ball. There you go. Bocce, bochi, whatever that's pronounced as. Bar table game as well. Yep, played that one. Okay, so now that we've established that this is possible and it's not that annoying to do. It's still annoying, but it's not that annoying to do. The thing that I've got to figure out is getting water, the primary goal being water, not rafts, but getting water up nested pools for the mechanical fluid pumps. So if you've been watching the video series with the folktales, which I'm assuming probably most of you are, you know that I started building the giant aqueduct to get water up to the top of where the rafts are. at the logging area, and water does not like to flow uphill, except in very rare cases mentioned in religious texts and during earthquakes. So you have to help it, which is what these are for. But the amount of water that I think is going to have to move is going to be more than one of these. And what I had been thinking of doing, just to illustrate in a way that they are not going to immediately start building it, I will build it up here. But what I was thinking of doing was on top of a 5... I barely have enough science to even start building this. But off of a 5x5 platform, and then going to another 5x5 platform that is... I think what I said, I wanted it to be 4 levels... 4 levels in between, which I know the logical way to do that is not this, but that's how mine are set up. I've got one here, I've got one here, and then I was planning on doing impermeable floors here and here, and then having the outside of each of these be terrain. And then inside of this, because of how this is set up, I was planning on... See, I don't even know if this is going to work the way that I want it to work. This is kind of why I'm testing it. But I wanted it to be dumping water with the help of one of these things exactly like this, so that each level gets more water, or not the same amount of water, but it stair steps the water going up. I'm not even talking about rafts. But then people started talking, you know, yesterday's stream, and also in the comments of that video, about what if you did rafts up that way? Which, knowing how much effort this took to get right, going 90 degrees, I kind of don't want to do that with here. But because we established that this is an option, I know if I want rafts to get up to the top, I can always just do that and have them land in a pool based on the knowledge we got from this. But but getting water up, I think what I was doing with this was... I'm not even going to bother trying to figure out what the exact perfect setup with the platforms is to get the height that I want. I'm just going to get them to the correct height. I need that to be between that and the bottom. It needs to be 3. Yeah, which means this actually needs to be 2. And then on top of that, right, like so. And then I think if I did this correctly, I need that, and then I need that to go there, and then I need that to go there. Anyway, so it's basically something like this. I just need to know if this is going to be enough flow, water-wise, to actually move water down a, we'll call it, an aqueduct probably about the entire length of this side of the map without needing to step down, and I don't want to build that in this live stream because I think it's going to take too long. But I did bake in some extra height allowance on this one side so it can slope down. I just need to know about flow going up and through this. So I think based on what I was looking at before, I'm going to... Why did I start at this height? That's not going to be good. I need to build one more of these. Let's do there, I think. Yeah. That's going to get me to, yeah, 2 more. And then I'm just going to use this to approximate what I was doing. It's not going to be an actual complete duplicate. But I can't build terrain that high. Okay, well, that is going to create an interesting problem, but not one that I can't solve. Again, this is for illustration purposes only. This is not me actually attempting to do this in a actual play the game correctly setting, so this is going to be fine. We'll have to take a look at the other map, or I guess I will when I go to actually record this. Can you change the flow rate in dev mode? You cannot change the overall flow rate, but I think there's something you can do. Okay, you can reset water simulation. You can increase or decrease the maximum speed of water wheels, and then I know you can do something else with the speed of simulation, something. But I don't think you can actually change any parameters about this. You can just change inventory. Yeah, I think that's about it. You can't change the limit or the... Wait a minute. How long has the maximum depth of this been? 8 meters. That's a change, isn't it? Because I'm pretty sure it used to be 5. That must have been a change. Well, anyway, I'm playing with the folktales and the other ones, so what is that? Oh, that's a water source. So I need to go based off of 5. Okay, I missed a lot. Let me scroll up. Folktales playthrough might be easier to pressurize one of your water sources rather than using pumps. To get it all the way to the top? Well, the idea is that it would use the same water instead of diverting source water just solely to that thing. I mean, we could just pressurize, but part of it was also I wanted to do something with these because I never play with them, and every playthrough there's always at least a couple of people who ask, hey, why don't you ever use these? I know Zedek made a perpetual water power creating machine using regular clean water. Using an array of deep water pumps and water wheels. Yeah, I've seen it done before. I haven't seen Zedek do it. But I did see long time ago, I saw Skystorm do it. With, I think, the tiny water wheels. Yeah, just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. One of those playthroughs. Let's see. There's a mod that lets you make them more efficient at the trade-off of more power needs. Okay, let me get out of dev mode, first of all. Used to be 6, was changed in update 7. Okay, I knew somebody would know. We don't use them because they're almost pointless. I mean, for what I usually do, yeah, but at the same time, remember, I've been playing this game for 5 years, which is kind of concerning that I still don't grasp basic concepts. But regardless, I'm starting to run out of things to do, and I want to try some stuff. But yes, so I'm like 99% certain this is going to be fine. Because I think this will shut off when this gets full, so I know it won't ever overflow. But if the depth is 5, then this is going to be perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just need to see when this gets up to the very top, whatever level that is. And I'm not going to wait for them to actually build this because this is not going to stay. I'm probably just going to dev mode complete this for a proof of concept because I don't have 5 hours to let them build this. But I just need to measure the outflow. That's going to be a 90-degree turn going this way, but I ran out of space because I'm dumb. I'm going to have it go off the side here. Now, I was thinking about doing a single wide, but if I do a double wide with the folktales, then I can actually put in their regular water wheel, which is 2 blocks wide. And then I can wow, great English language there. I can reclaim some of the power spent. Not all of it, but I can reclaim some of it. And I was thinking, ultimate goal, if I were going to do rafts, would be to also... let me see if I can just get this to... you know, I'm just going to go... why did it do that? I'm going to go back into dev mode, and I'm just going to place this stuff because I can. That needs to go to this spot here. If you control-click in dev mode, it'll just build it, and you don't have to wait for the beavers to do anything. Very convenient, very useful. That'll just be a single... And then there. I just need this one thing, and I can't finish this until whatever's beneath it is done also. So I should have placed this by control clicking, but I didn't. It's just the whole building all of this piece by piece takes more time than I have if I'm going to put a video out tomorrow, and I just want this to be done. So if you don't like dev mode, I'm sorry. But some of this is going to be legitimately impossible if I don't just do this. Then I will have them, you know, put the rest of it in organically, so to speak, because that's just the easiest way to do this. But I've got to do this the dumb way, quote unquote. Is this going to be... Yes. No. That needs to be there. Well, that's in the wrong spot. Let's just do this. And then get rid of all that. We don't really, at this point, I don't think we care about micromanaging all this mess. I just need this to work. So I'm going to send them up here, once again, because this is above the limit for water. I'm just going to pop this in like that. Make this as simple as possible, but I just need them to be able to get over here. And then I need them to be able to build all of this stuff, probably going down the backside for the purpose of power, just so it can actually get constructed. Just every level has to have one of these. Has to have one of those to get stuff between. And the only reason I do this way is because it's the only way I know how, without it being completely stupid. And then on the back side of this, I'll just connect it to a... Well, I could also just do one of these things, but no, I will choose to do things in the way that it's not completely stupid. I can't just put a geothermal engine down, can I? All right. So, remember when I said I wasn't going to do it, and then I'm going to do it anyway? Yep. Good times. So this is just for testing purposes. Don't worry, it's going to be okay. Yeah, see, the idea here was that this would just allow me to build basically everything that I need to do from one spot on this entire side back here. And then... I went up the wrong side. That's what happened. Man, who allows me to have access to this game and actually try to do stuff? Because, this ain't it. It's going so poorly. That's gonna go just up here. That's gonna be fine to build all the rest of that mess, and then they can just take care of this if they feel so inclined. But that's going to get power to all of these once that's complete, and then of course they do have to build the rest of this, which is going to be a whole thing. I suppose I can just I just feel like I'm wasting everybody's time doing this, and I feel like I need to apologize for this. Let's just get this done. Give them a way to actually get to places. Build the rest of this. Since we're not going to have any rafts going up here, I can just pop in a staircase for each one of these and just let them build what they need to build. That'll be fine. Put this on triple speed. And then I'm just going to try to proof of concept this. What I was going to do before I got distracted was I was going to try and put raft guides here for the purpose of what I was doing before, and then have these stand in for regular water wheels, which I will just put in like that. I just want to see what kind of flow I can get, assuming that this is any given amount of water, the same amount I'd be putting up with this design going out this side, turning a little bit of water wheels, and then also allowing rafts to go down this one side, this very narrow thing. Let's see. Add the nuclear power source. Well, yeah, that's what I ended up doing. Add water to the bottom to save time. Where is that? In here. Oh! I didn't know this was a thing. I'm not going to mess with that because I'm going to break the map. 30 times speed? Yeah, that's right, because we're in dev mode. Stream gauge to verify CFM. See, that's also what I was going to be doing. That is in... But this takes up space. Well, I was going to put it 3 of them across right here. How are they going to reach the waterproofing in the middle? Very good question. The solution is stairs, as it usually is. I did put the waterproof thing there. Yeah, okay. Alright, I need to get water in here, which is going to be... I love how this is still going. Okay. I forgot I hadn't done that one. I'm going to not put a water source in, because that's going to be a horrible mistake. Oh, I'm so afraid of messing with this. Oh, no, that's too big. Is it gonna matter where it goes? I just don't know. Construction is waiting for the... Oh. Okay, well this... I made an error with my orientation of dirt blocks. So, that's just gonna have to, that's just gonna have to go. Can you tell I don't build in dev mode very much? Okay, but that's not infinite water. That's just a static amount, and I'm trying to have this go continuously. If you shift click, it'll be bad water. Oh, that's the wrong... That's a water source. I don't want that. Okay, so this is waiting on nothing. That's waiting on that. I guess this is fine. Anyway, they're just about finished with this backside here, I think. I'm going to have this just artificially done. Why is this facing the other side? Who did this, honestly? It was me. I did this. But why? Alt-click to subtract. What? I alt-clicked and it didn't subtract, it just spawned it. Okay, so that doesn't need to be there. That doesn't need to be there. That doesn't need to be there. That is now powering all of these, except this one's not done. And it's not done because treated planks. Do I have treated planks? I do. Okay, so that doesn't matter. Well, I know I'm at 30x. Not a big deal. I was just surprised at how much came out, not the speed at which it came out. Unless I said I was surprised at the speed and then I don't remember what I said 10 seconds ago and that's a problem. Okay, I think this is done. This is also going to cause just prodigious quantities of flooding. So, what I'm going to do... Another instance of literally nobody asked for this solution, but I'm going to do it anyway. That's gone. Just delete that. I'm going to put a pool in at the bottom here, which is... This X thing is great, by the way. Let's do 5. Of course I offset it, stupid idiot. Alright. I'm just making a pool, and then inside of it I'm going to put a negative water source. Which is... Where did that go? How did I lose... Oh! I never, ever mess with these. Okay. Alright. I'm going to put that there, and the strength has to be, let's just say, -5. So that's just going to be a drain, anything that comes out of here. See, I don't remember this being here. Like, I remember this showed up somewhere else, and now I feel like I've taken nutso crazy pills. Anyway. Oh, that's not going to fit there because why? Is this too high? Oh, man. Okay. Can I, okay, that... Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, well, it's going. It's going. Anyway, the whole point of all this was to see what kind of flow it was going to do. Point 1, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. And of course that water is just, in theory, all going to be vaporized by that thing. Oh, I don't have enough water in here for this to be just constantly going. Well, the idea is that this would just keep going. Alright. See, at least you guys should understand at this point that I legitimately have no idea what I'm doing. Oh, that's the wrong button. There we go. This is set to 1. I want this to... Oh, it's a bad tide. Son of a... Oh, it doesn't matter. Alright, it's fine. I forgot we were in a bad tide, and this is... Okay, this is bad. This is very, very bad news. This is going to... What'd you say it was? 0.5? Ugh. Can I delete this? Yes. Go away, go away, go away. Nobody walk over there. It's fine. Strength is the CMS. Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out... Oh, God, what? Alright. What was the, What did people say was the strength of the pump was 0.5? I think. Let's see if this is going to equal out. So I feel like this isn't right. Unless it just can't catch up. No, that's absolutely not right. That's completely wrong. Let's try 0.2. Well, they got contaminated, so. Do I even have any? Ah. Okay, so this is why you don't do this. Yeah. Okay. Man, I'm irritated now. This is so aggravating, man. Ugh. Well, what am I supposed to be doing here? I think the next time we stream this, I'm just going to have to reload from before this. I really hope you're right. Okay. You're confused. I'm confused. So this clearly is not enough at 0.25. Let's just slowly increase. No. The negative sources aren't the problem. This is set to -5. This is going to be able to do whatever. It's just spilling out of these little containment things here. So it's actually not... Oh, you stupid idiots. Alright. This is supremely aggravating. I just need this to not pulsate like this. Far too sober to be able to understand you and me both. Get off at 30 times speed. Water physics actually seem to be mostly behaving at 30 times speed now. It's the whole beavers have to eat thing that doesn't go well. Well, since we are here, why don't we just get out of bad tide land so I don't make any more crazy, ridiculous mistakes. I just want to measure flow. It says 0.2 and 0 here because it doesn't want to go through the wheels. So obviously this is going to be in the aqueduct thing I was thinking about doing, which might not even work anymore. I was thinking about having this be 3 wide for the sake of the water wheels and a raft going down the side. But now I don't know. Now I don't know. 'Cause it doesn't seem like it's working great. Change the platforms to dams. Alright, well, I have nothing to lose by doing that. Now, let's see what happens when this fills up all the way. Power's been out since Friday morning. Yikes. Why am I leaking water? That's a very good question. I don't know. I think this just can't keep up. This is set to 0.27. Because I thought maybe I could squeeze a little bit more out of it, but now it's 0.25. Shouldn't be leaking anymore. Yeah, there it goes. So, now it's coming off this side. This says 0.1, this says 0.1, this says 0.1. So we know this is not enough to actually rotate a wheel. So this kind of throws my whole idea in the toilet to try to do any sort of raft or whatever. So now the concern is just getting water to flow far enough down. That's not going to be easy for me to just sit here and do. I don't know. What do you think? Because, like, clearly with the single set of pumps, this isn't going to work. It's going to have to be probably, and again, I'm not going to actually be able to probably build this, but just to show you what I'm thinking about. Oh, that's what I wanted for this one. What I was thinking about having to do is nesting them like this, which would require a 5-wide pool to draw from, but would dump it into a central thing. Which, in theory... yeah, but see, triple pumps is going to cause me to have to completely redo this. But triples would allow me to, yeah, I would have to be able to pump from this, I would have to be in a space that was, see, that's, negative space of 4 on that side, and then this comes all the way through here. So the pool that it would have to be pumping from, assuming you want it to be square-ish, would have to be 5 by 4, which is larger than the metal platform that I'm trying to keep everything confined to. So I feel like that would probably be much more difficult to actually build. But we know based off of what this is doing, in theory it would be 3 times as much, which is 0.3 CMS, which still is not a lot at all. They also, yeah, they do use a lot of power, 700 each. Yeah, and this would be for every single level it goes up, which would be kind of untenable long term, because I would have to have at least 3 levels of this. Place the 3rd pump in such a way that you snuggle a straw between the other 2. It would still require the same overall size because of how this sets up. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to squeeze it in. Because you would have to, in order to get it to dump in the same spot, when I would probably want to, okay. Let me see if I can figure out a way to illustrate what I'm saying. I want to, if I'm dumping into the next level, to create water flow, which I think at this point we have to abandon the idea of doing that with rafts, because this whole thing, just to get enough water up to the top for it to spin the wheels probably is not worth it. Now we're at the point of just having enough water to make it to the other side to create flow downhill. Yeah, power connections are also a huge pain in the butt. I don't know, man. Like, I thought I had a good idea for this, and I don't think it's going to work. So, okay. What is going to be the best way to get this to go all the way? Because I really need to be able to be sure that this is going to send enough water, and I don't know that I can do that. Because I'm going to have... Is this going to be straight in the center? Yeah. So what I'm trying to do, and I really hope you guys can bear with me here for just a little bit longer. I'm just trying to see like what the limit of a single set of pumps is going to be. I can go up a couple more. That is going to get me in trouble. Is that already too high? I think this is the same height as this thing is. Let's, yeah, okay, so this is the absolute limit that I can get to here. So then what's going to happen is I'm going to have to chase this... Oh, that was stupid. I'm going to have to chase this back. So that's going to be... here, yeah. And that's got to be 3, then that means... I think that's right. Okay, no, that was actually in the wrong spot. I promise this is going to make sense when I actually finish. I just have to actually finish. I think this has to be a single. Oh! That's right. It's a 6. But the 6 is inclusive. Okay. Alright. So this has just become substantially easier when it was never even difficult in the first place and I just didn't do math correctly. Come on. There we go. So... there we go. Come on. Alright, now I've got to have impermeable floors all the way down. Oh, this is still on the, there we go. Wrong height. Why is that going away? Oh, all the bots are out of power. How'd that happen? I've got chargers. Why are they not, charging? Why are you just standing there like you're dumb? Don't do that. Seek out a charger. There are chargers available. You just have to go. Ugh. Alright, I don't have time for this. I got stuff I've got to do. Let's get, why can I really only build these in multiples of 10? That doesn't seem ideal. I know this is going to dump into an area that isn't supposed to be dumped. So I will have this go out, and then we're just going to have to deal with it on that side. Dams. There we go. So there is water going this way. Remember, the only thing I'm attempting to do is see if this will go all the way without having to go down. And if it will, on a long enough timeline, actually still generate flow. Okay, what's only possible with forced water from a source? Is this for this map or for the down the plug hole map? I am attempting to prototype an idea for the down the plug hole map. Shouldn't the wheels be one level lower than where you're dumping the water to create flow with more edges to drop off? in theory, it doesn't matter because the water is going to get to a certain height enough to rotate it anyway. It just, the flow's not going to be enough to move it. Chargers have to be within a certain distance of the main. I have never heard that. But if they're out of power and they go back to the center, which I don't like as a mechanic anyway, and I don't know why they did that, then it really shouldn't matter. Because they'd pass one. They'd pass chargers, like, within a reasonable distance to get there. So, like, what are they doing? Alright. Well, I'm not going to dev mode build, but I'm going to put 2 right there, and if they don't want that, then I'm done with them, if they don't want that. Alright, so let's get that filled up enough to come off the edge here. It's going to be close enough to the, yeah. So that's going to flood. It's fine. We're going to abandon this specific save anyway. Yeah, welcome to the worst stream I think I've ever done. Charger to bot ratio is too low. There's only 71 and I got like 10 chargers. There's no way that's too few chargers. I've done it with like 2 or 3 before. Yeah, still 0.1 cubic meters per second. That's not going to work. Okay, so I'm going to have to probably abandon the idea of doing the 3 wide. So we know the 3 wide's not going to work. Now, what I'm going to have to attempt to do is see the 2 wide here. How much faster is that going to go? Let's go. It should be somewhere between 0.1 and 0.2, which means it's going to be flickering back and forth, which is what it's doing. So let's try this. So this should be 0.3, right? One would assume it would be 0.3. And this has nowhere to put extra, which means it's going to overflow probably pretty quick. So we aren't going to be able to keep this forever. So this is... Alright. But now I put this here. It's going to... Say it's going to generate 26 HP. Okay, so that rotates. But see, here... Double wide, it's not going to rotate at all. But this rotates just fine. Which I feel like that... I feel like this should... Okay, whatever. Speed currently based on the 3 edges from the dams at the end. So, in 1.0, it no longer matters because the waterfall math got changed. I'm very curious how this isn't overflowing. Like, where's... Is there, like, somewhere secret... Oh, I'm still in the wrong... Is there somewhere secret the water's going that I've forgotten about? No. There is not. Okay. Is there a water source near the elevated waterway you could surround with tall reservoir walls? I mean, maybe? I honestly don't know. I don't think the answer to that question is yes. There is a... Wait, what did I miss? Oh, never mind. I think that map is only seeps, which are not going to work for something like this. Just mechanically, because they shut off when they reach a certain height. Alright. 4 water pumps are pulling out 0.25 CMS, and the seep is off. There are 6 pumps here. Based on the volume of the channel, so maybe a second make of mechanical pumps on the opposite sides. Yeah, that's what I was trying to avoid, because building multiple ones of these per level is complicated with something that is 5x5. Because these are all set up on the 5x5 platform, which is how I currently have that whole thing designed. When one bot's on the way to a charger, no others can use it, so we'll sit empty as the bot slowly meanders across. Who designed this? Ugh, what a pain in the butt to deal with. At least that seems to be mostly fixed. Anyway, so even if this has been an abject failure in most respects, it has at least shown me that I can't do what I originally wanted to do. Which is disappointing. But better to do this now in a live stream where I can get real-time feedback than post a video, wait 2 days, and then make another video and then end up wasting a bunch of people's time. Instead of wasting thousands of people's time twice, I get to waste 66 people's time continuously for an hour and a half. Let's see. Someone needs to make a high-pressure pump and hose for maximum flow. That would be great. But also, I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of the game, giving you specific limitations and encouraging you to think outside the box. So, knowing what we know now for this, everything that we have learned, I think it's going to become incumbent upon us to figure out a way to change how this is set up. And I'm not going to be able to put more than 2 of these in. I'd have to put it sideways, I think. Let me try reconfiguring this. Because if that's there, what I can do, and I think this might have been what some of you were suggesting I do, I can probably... Come on. What? Don't do that. I can probably stagger it to be like that. But for this to work, I would have to have... Yeah, see, this would still fit in the regular 5x5, meaning a 3x3 interior. Let's completely get rid of this. And theory craft something else here. So I have here a 5x5 pool. This is the top of a stupid bad tide. I'm gonna have to not have this emptying during a bad tide. So this is going to I'm gonna have to just, for right now, I'm going to have to just delete the source so we don't have any problems. What was I gonna do here? Trying to, you know, talk about this while doing it is really hard. I'm gonna have to, if this is gonna be sucking water up that way and I want it to still go in the same spot, I'm gonna have to make a really dumb looking thing. Okay, let's... No, I needed this to be actually done. Well, we've already gotten to the point where this is going to be basically impossible for me to do in a video and have it not be completely insane. So, at this point, I am... What? Stop that. At this point, I'm just trying to salvage the spirit of the idea and not so much make the exact thing I was originally setting out to make. I need that to be depositing there, and that means that's going to have to be... See, this is exactly why this design is not going to work for what I wanted to originally do. But basically, it's going to deposit in this channel and then go... That's going to have to go... do as I say, not as I do, and then... in most occasions, also don't do what I say, if that makes sense. But what I'm attempting to do here... anyway, so this would pump up twice as much and dump it into one of these channels, which would then go into the next level of what's getting pumped, which for the sake of what I was attempting to do... I think I can do this, but it's not going to make very much of a height gain. Yes, it's only going to gain 2 blocks of height, and I'm sure I could probably expand it, but actually, hold on. No, I can get one more. I can get one more if I do impermeable floors in the bottom instead of that. Trying to figure this out. It's not going great. I can do that. Can I do... Yes. Okay, so if that works, that is not that different from the idea that I already had, and I know I can increase the height 1 more level because I only have a depth of 4 here. At this point, the rafts have to be absolutely abandoned for this. There's no chance I'm going to get that to work. That would be a separate thing to get up to the top and not involved with water movement. I see the problem is I don't think if I'm gonna have this not be just absurdly stupid, I'm gonna have to limit it to 2. Because then I would have to have this go twice as long and I'd only have to have a rise of about 2 units per module. No. The depth doesn't go up to 8 for the other playthrough. It only goes to 5 because it's Folktales. So I'm building with that in mind. So pretend that there's another level of height here. Oh, so you actually like this? I think it's awful. I guess that goes to show differences in taste. Let's... I'm gonna have to actually redo this to try and achieve what I was already wanting to do. So I'm gonna need this. No, I forgot again. I never build in dev mode. I need this to be, for this not to be completely ridiculous. I need that to do that. I need that. And then I need this. And also, like, building this in the other playthrough is going to be an absolute nightmare. It is going to be ludicrously, just depressingly difficult to do this with biobeavers. But just to demonstrate the exact thing I was trying to do. So this is the correct height now, at the very least. Which means this can be triple. Yeah, and this is the height difference between the top level and the second to top level that I currently have built. And if we have to have 2 pumps on every level, then I'm going to have to change the rest of them, and that's going to substantially modify how that design works. But, assuming this is what I'm going to be able to do, and I still don't know height-wise because of... okay, that has to go there. I still don't know height-wise because of how it's situated on that map, how many more levels I can do with terrain. Terrain being better than levees here because you can overhang like that and save yourself a little bit of grief. But... did I do this correctly? Yeah, this is just going to be a double. These are going to have to be triples. And then these are going to have to be doubles. I just need to see how well this is going to cascade, if it's going to at all. It goes there, there, and there. That side, that side, that side, and then here. No, I'm not inserting ads, YouTube. Stop it. Okay, so that would get it from here up to here. This was a double. No, it was a triple. So this is going to have to be what? That's not right. There we go. Why did that? All right. Jeez. And then... is that going to be... I don't think it's... come on. It's not going to be enough. If I could remember which buttons to push, that would be great. Okay, one more. Yeah, see that? Okay, so this, I think... figuring out how to build it's going to be the hardest part, but I think this will work as a function of actually, you know, moving water up. So that will get it from this height, which we will call... layer 12, water from layer 12 up to layer 20. And I think the rise that I have to do in the other playthrough is like 16 or 17 blocks. Reminds me of falling water. See, no, that's a piece of actual architectural art. This is a mess. See if you have some space for windmills or gravity oh god, gravity batteries. Oh man. See, the going up this thing with gravity batteries I think would be a horrific mistake. But oh, see, that's the other thing, is I got to figure out how to get power between these, which, you know, isn't going to be terribly hard, but I keep forgetting to control-click this. Doing this in quote-unquote survival mode is going to be almost impossible. It would have to be very, 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 very carefully sequenced. Okay, the cantilever design, yeah, I can see that. I am just... height-wise, if I can get up to where I need to go, which is I could not do another level with from this starting point. I could not do another level with dirt. If I can get where I need to go, then this isn't going to be that bad. I just have to be careful about when I build pumps. If I get rid of the pumps, okay, this is probably doable, and then build the pumps last. This is... it's somewhat easily reproducible. I'm going to get screenshots of this for my use later. Try and remember while I'm sitting there while recording a time-lapse and having my microphone muted so you can't hear me swearing at myself. I think this is going to be fine. It's just going to require a little bit of modification to get where we want it to go. And I just have to hope that doubling the flow on this is going to be enough to get anything done. But we know this will, at 0.3 cubic meters per second, or 0.25 technically, this will rotate one wheel in a one-wide channel. So doubling it, theoretically, means it will rotate these two wheels in a two-wide channel. But if I want to also have rafts going through it, which at this point I think is going to be almost impossible. See, I don't know. I think I'm going to have to abandon putting the rafts through there just because logistically getting that much water up there is not going to be viable. Do you need an automated fluid dump within the design? I mean, if we have the mechanical pump... The whole point is to utilize the mechanical pumps. But if we were truly desperate, then we could put in a couple of automated fluid dumps with the help of bots, probably, to dump more water to increase the flow. I don't know how worth it that's going to be. For testing purpose, the lowest level... I already know the water is going to be fine, because we've already established what this is going to do. So the problem with the non-dirt version is it's going to require supports for the levees. And I don't remember the height that I'm working with in that playthrough, but I would hope beyond hope that it is not at whatever level this is. This is level 24. If it is level 23, then we're okay. Let's see how high I can actually build here. Okay. Oh, it's not level 23. That's the wrong button. It is level 21. So this will this is only going to work up to level 21. Okay, I'm going to have to think about this off stream. What if the water made a U-turn for the wheels, and after the U-turn the water would be for rafts? Imagine the wheels spinning the opposite direction. I don't think I follow. The water is still going to have to... the water's still going to have to get somewhere. Putting the water wheels up here was a secondary thing anyway. The primary goal is move water. The water wheels were going to be an attempt to recoup some of the... Oh, there they go again, having a no power party. The water wheels were going to be an attempt to recoup some of the energy lost to bring the water up there. I don't have to have water wheels in there. I could achieve probably most of the same results by putting a few windmills and gravity batteries on there. And then I could have the channel open for rafts. Which probably is going to be a better solution anyway. But I know to get enough water up there to actually move a current, to have it be worthwhile, I think this setup is going to be necessary. We know this will move water. It just isn't going to move enough to really have much of a current. So I guess I need to decide. I probably should just ask people to actually watch the videos. But I guess the thing that I need to decide before I complete construction of everything else is, what am I going to have to do with the viaduct itself? Like, is it going to be for raft transportation in addition to water transportation? Is it going to be for raft transportation, or is it going to be to turn water wheels and recoup power cost? I don't think the water wheels are going to be a viable solution. And I think the rafts would be much more satisfactory to most people watching. Man, these stupid bots again. Come on, man. Look. There's only 87 of them. They cannot possibly be that dumb. Alright, well. I've just about exhausted my patience for one night for this. But I can't stop now, so. Just gonna build a couple more of those. Oh, hey, Josh. 3-wide channel, but when the water reaches the end of the rafts, hit the launcher, the water turns back and then dumps out near the map's edge. No. The water is not supposed to dump out the map's edge. The thing I'm trying to design for, the water is supposed to go to the top of the mountain and then continuously flow down the hill, where it is then recycled and brought back up. The idea is to keep the rafts moving all the time, during bad tides, during droughts. That is why this whole thing is... Remember, we're not doing this for this playthrough. This is proof of concept for something else. So the water, I don't want the water to be dumped off the map at any time. I want it to be as close of a loop as I can. Obviously, there's going to be evaporation, whatever. But I'm trying to create continuous motion, which is why the speed of water is so important. Because it has to actually be dumping enough to move rafts downriver to keep the thing perpetuating. So I think probably, because I am very much running out of time if I want to make a video for tomorrow, I think what's going to happen is I build this first so the water can actually get up there in large enough quantities to make it worthwhile. Build the aqueduct, and then at that point, once it is finished, decide if I'm going to put rafts or something else in there. And it's probably going to take a couple of episodes to get that done. And I also am going to have to build one of these if we're going to put rafts in there. So, did I miss anything else? No, I think that is where I'm going to have to leave it for here. This has been very helpful, though. Trying to figure out all of these different nonsensical things. It has been actually a very, very helpful use of time. And I appreciate all of your input and your advice, and all of you who know so much more about the game than I'm ever going to understand. And I'm sorry it's not a 2-hour stream. I'm sorry we didn't really get anything else done. But this has been very helpful to me personally, and I'm glad that we did it. I forget, can the raft guides go next to the wheels? Yes. That is what I was attempting to show you guys earlier. That's this. So this would keep the raft out of the wheel, but because it's not wheels all the way across, the water will kind of go around them. 17 water dumps gets 0.3 CMS. Okay, so that is absolutely not worth doing from a economy of resources, economy of labor standpoint. That just does not make sense. But I still kind of want to do it. And now I'm out of time and I feel bad about it. But yeah, I'm thankful for you guys. I know it's been annoying probably for a lot of you when I've had to move streams and cancel streams and not have streams and only put out 3-4 videos a week. It has been chaos. Of the, I'm not going to say the bad kind, because, you know, nothing bad is happening. I'm just really busy. And I have to figure out a way to make more videos. But I think we've solved a problem. We may have created 5 additional problems, but we solved at least one by doing all this, and I am grateful for your support, grateful for your help. I've got to go try and record a video for tomorrow, and then hopefully start another faction series this upcoming week. I just have to find the time. What if you also have an aqueduct beneath to recycle the water and put the wheels there? No. The water in this is going straight to the other side of the map. It is not coming back. The only time the water is going to come back is when it's at the very bottom to get pumped back up. Like, there's not going to be a second level underneath. Don't be staying up too late. Man, I go to bed at like 3 in the morning every single night because I spend so much time working on stuff. And I've got a bunch of other projects for the other channel that I have not even started yet that I desperately need to do. And some idiot started to sell model train stuff online, and that also takes like a full-time job worth of time. So we're having fun over here, but it's a lot. It's too much. I got to keep this going because this pays for everything. So you know how it goes. I got to have a great rest of your day. I'm sorry once again this isn't longer. I'm sorry it's not, you know, more interesting actual gameplay, but I think this was very, very, very much worth our time. Take care, friends, and I'll see you hopefully not in 5 hours with another video for those of you who are boosters, but I don't know how long it's going to take. Take care. Bye-bye.